Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on.
It all began the moment Kayla and Andrew saw a weak dog at the shelter. His name was Walter. He looked frail, was coughing violently, and his body was much too thin for his frame. At that moment, Kayla and Andrew knew they couldn't go home without him. They saw not just a sick dog, but a soul desperately in need of a second chance. When they brought him home, they had no idea that this fragile, poor dog would behave like a grumpy old grandfather, full of peculiar habits that would change their lives forever. Kayla and Andrew had recently moved from the Midwest to sunny Florida, and with this new beginning, they wanted to adopt a dog. Walter had been abandoned by his previous family not long ago, and his tired eyes tugged at Kayla and Andrew's hearts. The first few days at home were harder than they had imagined. Walter was so weak that every step he took was painful. They cared for him meticulously, monitoring his breathing, coaxing him to eat, and staying by his side at night to make sure he was okay. Slowly, their care paid off. His cough subsided, his appetite increased, and a new light returned to his eyes. However, as Walter regained his strength, his true personality began to emerge. Kayla was the first to notice this. Walter's expressions and behavior were different from those of other dogs. He acted like a grumpy old man who had seen it all. Sometimes he would sit quietly in a corner watching everyone with judgmental eyes. Other times, he would lock eyes with Kayla or Andrew, holding their gaze with long, intense stares. He felt less like a pet and more like an old man making sure everyone was behaving properly. Something happened that night that would surprise them greatly. Kayla and Andrew had debated for weeks whether to let Walter sleep in their bed. One evening, they gave in and let him curl up beside them. That's when they discovered his unusual secret. Walter snored loudly, almost like a human. At first, this surprised them, but soon the sound became strangely comforting, as if reminding them that their once fragile son was finally resting in peace. Over time, Kayla realized something even deeper. Walter had chosen her as his owner. He followed her everywhere, never leaving her side, never taking his eyes off her. He was completely devoted to her. Andrew laughed at this, but for Kayla, it was the sweetest bond she could imagine, because Walter felt like he had entrusted every piece of his heart to her. Walter was no longer just a pet. He had become part of the family, filling their days with laughter, warmth, and unexpected happiness. The dog they had rescued from the shelter had saved them and brought unexpected meaning to their new life in Florida. Walter was no longer just a dog. He had become their child, their friend, and the heart of their home.